Ian, thank you for the time this morning. We thought it was just a torn hamstring. Can you recap what you tweeted about the Tyron injury?
Yeah, it's a torn hamstring, but worse. So basically it is an avulsion fracture of the knee, which means the back of the knee, the popliteus, I believe I pronounced that name correctly, where the hamstring basically tears off the bone. So a piece of the knee comes with it, and the hamstring completely tears off the bone. So it's called an avulsion fracture. Same thing happened to Mekhi Becton, the Jets offensive tackle. And, for him, it means out for the season. For Tyron, my understanding is December is when he could, come back. And, is there a possibility he's back for the final month of the season in the playoffs? I would say maybe. People are holding out some hope, but until he has surgery, which could come today, no one knows for sure.
And when you look at their options in terms of internal options and then potentially looking externally, whether it be trade market or anything else, do you think their default option to begin with will be, all right, let's see what Tyler Smith can do? They've been working him at left guard, but basically their first-round pick, see if Tyler Smith will work out at left tackle to begin?
I would say that's a possibility. I don't know where they're going to end up because they do have some other options. Obviously, you can move Zach Martin over to tackle. You can start Tyler Smith at guard. You can, I would say go sign a tackle, but you look out there and there's really not a lot that's out there. Like, I don't even know who it would be. Go try to sign Eric Fisher. I think there's a possibility that internally is much better than than signing Eric Fisher. So my guess is they try to retool things internally before they, move forward and try to trade for someone. Just because at this time of year, like, the reason these injuries are so devastating is where are you going to go and who you're going to sign. Like, that's a problem.
And when you look at, we talk about who's out there, Eric Fisher and stuff like that. Is it completely out of the realm of possibility? And not necessarily that what Dallas has thought about these guys, but do you think retired players like Jason Peters and Andrew Whitworth, are they accepting any calls, or do you think they'd be open to any sort of phone calls like that for a job like this?
I'm sure Jason Peters would love a call to come play for the Cowboys and be their starting left tackle at 38 years old. But that's not really the question. The question is that what's best for the Cowboys? Everybody wants to, go sign what's out there. Everyone wants to, sign whichever free agent is there. And I know, that's sort of been a story of the Cowboys offseason is everybody wants the Cowboys to sign everyone. If you are a good team and you have depth, then a lot of times what's on your team is better than what's out there. Like, could they sign Jason Peters? Yes. Is that really, something that would help them? There's a reason a lot of these guys are free agents, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Ian Rapoport from the NFL Network joined us to discuss the Tyron Smith injury. And when looking out there at the trade market, I know there's been some discussion that Isaiah Wynn could be on the move from the Patriots. The Cowboys in the past have shown that they only generally have given up large capital in trades when it's been for receivers over the last 20 years. Do you think this is something that they'd be looking for a long-term fix, or do you think this would be, hey, if we're going to make a trade, it's going to be just a bridge to get us over until next year, until potentially if Tyron could come back in December?
Well, I think also, you sort of hope that you drafted the left tackle of the future, right? If you're going to, if you're going to trade for Isaiah Wynn, who, by the way, is playing right tackle now, not left tackle, but if you're going to trade for Isaiah Wynn, he's on his fifth-year option, so that really would be just a fix for this year. Then he would be a free agent. The problem is, the Cowboys have always been really smart with the resources. It doesn't always make a lot of sense to trade capital for a guy who's only going to be there a year. And, Isaiah Wynn, obviously Tyron Smith has been injured the last several years, and that's been a frustration. So is Isaiah Wynn. There's a reason that he is, potentially available for the right price. He's a former first-round pick. It would be expensive. He's very talented, so, that one makes a little bit of sense. But, again, trade for a tackle who's been injured, I don't know. I have a lot of questions on a lot of things that are out there, to be honest. That's why I'm saying internally might make more sense for the Cowboys.
Ian, you worked here. You obviously know the popularity of this team. What does this do to the optimism of the season? At least here in the Metroplex this morning, it feels like all the wind has been sucked out of the season by like a 3-win difference. One of the Tolos just said, oh, Tampa Bay has all these injuries, and it's not this level of freak out. Well, what's your opinion of what this does to the ceiling of the Cowboys season?
I mean, I think it makes it, I guess, a little bit lower, but not really. I mean, I don't know. Like, if we're looking at it, was there a chance that Tyron Smith would play 17 games this season? Like, definitely a chance, but not a great one.
Right.
Like, look historically, like, they play without him a lot. Obviously better with him. He is when healthy, a great, great player, like one of the better players in the NFL when healthy. What was the chances that he was going to play 17 games? Not very good. Plus, they drafted his replacement. So I think, it's bad. Every injury is bad. This one at a key spot is bad. But the Cowboys at least prepared for this by drafting the person who's going to play instead of him in the first round. We'll see which way they go, but at least this is a team that's prepared for this. Makes their draft look really, really smart right now. And I think it'll be hard. I remember when the Packers lost David Bakhtiari right before the playoffs and it changed their entire season. They ended up losing. The Cowboys have 3 months to figure this out. I think they'll be okay.
Ian, just before we let you get out of here, off the Tyron subject real quick, have you heard any scuttle or any interest that the Cowboys might have in evaluating the receiver position? That was something that looked like they were evaluating after James Washington went down. Have you heard any chatter about how they're approaching that position right now?
I think what they did is what a lot of teams do in the preseason. Like, all right, we have a need. We'll look around, but let's just, let our guys get reps first. I would not say that they are not going to add a the waiver wire is going to be interesting. There'll be a couple of veterans who will be out there, the T.Y. Hildens of the world. I don't know that there's a rush to really sign anyone. I mean, there'll be some guys who are available, but again, like a lot of the guys who are available now are going to be 4th or 5th, maybe 6th receivers. Denzel Mims is an interesting one. He actually has a high upside. That would make some sense. Other than that, like, are they going to go sign T.Y. Hilton? Like, if you're going to sign a 4th receiver, that guy better play special teams. So if they're going to add someone, I would expect it to be a back-end guy. But I don't know. I don't even know that they do that.